While the vast majority of Americans polled expressed support for racial equality when asked in so many words, 70% strongly agreed that all races are equal, and 89% agreed that all races should be treated equally. People's responses got murkier when it came to expressing their viewpoints on particular issues related to race and extremism. For instance, while only 8% of respondents said they supported white nationalism as a group or movement, a far larger percentage said they supported viewpoints widely held by white supremacist groups. 31% of Americans polled strongly or somewhat agreed that America must protect and preserve its white European heritage, and 39% agreed that white people are currently under attack in this country. The poll results do show both an American public that overwhelmingly rejects racist affiliations and movements but at the same time is more tolerant of racially insensitive positions. Kyle Kondik, communications director at the University of Virginia Center for Politics, told HuffPost. The results may be what you might expect from a country that is arguably defined by racial conflict, he added. And one that can vote for an African American for president who ran on unity less than a decade ago, and then turn around and vote for a vehemently anti-immigrant candidate who exploited white grievances just last year. The poll addressed several hot-button issues surrounding racial justice in America, and in many cases, the majority of respondents seemed to agree with more conservative viewpoints. When it comes to the debate about removing Confederate monuments, for instance, most Americans polled, 57%, said they think the statues should remain in public spaces, and less than one-third, 26%, said they think they should be removed. Touching on recent heated debates surrounding free speech versus hate speech, the poll found a majority of Americans, 59%, agreed with the statement that political correctness threatens our liberty as Americans to speak our minds, a view often touted by conservative leaders including President Donald Trump. Even support for interracial marriage 50 years after the landmark Supreme Court decision Loving v. Virginia isn't as widespread as one might think. Around 1 in 6 Americans, or 16%, strongly or somewhat agreed that marriage should only be allowed between people of the same race, while 65% of Americans disagreed. As NAACP Legal Defense Fund staffer Janai Nelson told HuffPost last month, calling out extremists, white supremacists, neo-Nazis is an important but very low bar for where we should be as a society at this stage in our democracy. What we should be having is a much more nuanced and deepened understanding of how those isms manifest in policy, in systems, in a cloak of oppression that still lives with us, Nelson said.